Ready?
Go?
Go.
Hello YouTubers, my name is Scott, and as the title of this video says, this second bout of Guillain-Barré nearly killed me. My story is that this is the second time I've had Guillain-Barré. The first time was in January 2014. It was a mild case. It was only 9 days in hospital. Within 2 months I was back to normal. The second time I got this Guillain-Barré was in July 2016, and it was a very serious strain. It was called the Miller-Fisher, which is different variants of Guillain-Barré, and that's when I got, and it was a very quickly on rapid version of it. So basically within about 32 hours of first signs, I was put into a medically induced coma, where I spent the next 5 weeks in. It took, as my doctors have now told me, they wore the drugs off after 2 weeks, and it took me another 3 weeks to wake up. They had told my parents and all my family that I was clinically brain dead. I thought the tests they'd been doing, there was nothing, I wasn't responding. So there was even, the transplant doctors were wanting my parts already because I was a very good specimen, I suppose. My body was intact, and yes, they already had my parts lined up to go elsewhere. Except, I suppose I'm a fighter and I chose to stay alive. So anyhow, I woke up after 5 weeks, and so I spent the next 8 months, 200 days in intensive care at the Royal London Hospital, which is a lot of story in its own. It's very hard to just live in a hospital on its own, and just the fact where I was lying in bed and just could not move, could not communicate for months. Had a machine breathing for me. As you can see my tracheostomy hole right there. It's a beautiful one, I know. So yes, and it's very many stories about my life in hospital. One of the best things about hospital was my nurses. They were so amazing to me. Not all of them, but most of them were. And some I'm still very good friends with these days, and they take me out to the football. We just take me out and walk around London. And by the way, as you can tell, I'm probably Australian. I am Australian, but I'm in London. All my family is in Australia, so my family is basically the friends that I've made since I've been sick, which has been a lot of my nurses. One of my lovely nurses is holding this camera today, Elsa. Hello, Elsa. And she chose this song as well, so don't blame me. So, and I forgot what I was saying. What's this?